Welcome to English Conversations. Today we'll practice management English. Listen and read along.
Hi, Gina. Do you mind if I borrow your stapler?
Not at all, Ralph. Go right ahead.
Thanks a lot. I ran out of everything this week.
Don't worry about it. Do you need any other supplies?
Now that you mention it, do you have an extra binder?
Yes, I do. Here you go. I've never even used it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Let me know if I can help you with anything else.
Hi, Fran. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, John. What can I help you with?
How far have you gotten on your tasks today?
I'm about halfway done.
Did you have a chance to replace the toner yet?
Yes, that's the first thing I did.
Great, thank you. Did you get to the fax machine?
No, I haven't had a chance.
Please do that next. It's very important.
Hey, Ben, do you have a moment?
Sure, Kathy. What's going on?
I was wondering if I could talk to you about getting some new computer accessories.
Well, what exactly did you have in mind?
We could really use a new laser printer and scanner. The ones we have barely work.
I'm not sure. They're pretty expensive.
Yes, I know, but it's really cutting into productivity.
That's a good point. Sure, Kathy. I'll get new ones right away.
Excuse me, Mr. Burns? I have a question.
Yes, what is it?
Well, we have a staff meeting scheduled this week, but the conference room is closed for construction.
I forgot about that. That sounds like a problem.
Yes, that's why I wanted to talk to you. Can we hold the meeting in your office?
Let's see. When is the meeting?
It's on Thursday at 1 p.m.
OK, that's fine. We'll have the meeting here.
Hi. Do you have any entry-level positions open?
Hi there. Well, we have a few clerical jobs open. Do you have any prior experience?
No, I don't.
OK, let's see. Are you a business student?
Yeah, I study management at the university.
OK, great. In that case, you could become an intern. Of course, the pay is pretty low.
That's okay. I need the job experience.
All right, then. I'll get you an application.
Excuse me, where would I find Mr. Nelson?
Well, sir, we have two Nelsons here. Do you mean Mr. Nelson in HR or our IT specialist?
Mr. Nelson in HR. Where can I find him?
He should be in his office this afternoon. Is he expecting you?
Yes, I have an appointment.
All right, in that case, I'll call his assistant. She can walk you to his office.
That would be great. Thank you.
Of course, sir.
Hi, Jim. Do you have a minute? I need you to look at these sales reports.
Of course. What's up?
Something's not right with the numbers for last month. It's not adding up.
Okay, I'll take a look.
The problem is with the sales for the 12th.
Oh, you're right. I multiplied the cost by the wrong number.
Okay, let's check to make sure.
Yes, now the total is coming out right.
Great. Thanks, Jim.
So, what do our sales numbers look like?
Well, our first and second quarters were strong, but there's a drop in sales after that.
Interesting. Sales dropped in the third quarter.
Yes, the second quarter had the highest sales, but the fourth quarter had all-time lows.
That's not a good sign. Do you know the reason?
Well, sales dropped after we discontinued the R900 series.
We didn't realise R900 was so popular.
No, we didn't. Maybe we have poor market research.
So, you want to start a business?
Yes. My friend and I want to feed needy people.
Then you may want to consider a non-profit organisation. Non-profits are good for helping those in need.
What is a non-profit organisation?
Any extra revenue doesn't go to paying employees. It's used to improve the business.
What are the benefits of that?
Well, it helps the business grow, and you pay less in taxes.
That sounds like a good option to consider.
Hello, Miss Green. You're here for the receptionist position, right?
Yes, it sounds like a great opportunity.
What interests you about it?
I saw that it might transition from part-time to full-time.
Well, that depends on how the first month goes.
I understand. I'm sure my previous experience will help me.
What experience do you have as a receptionist?
Well, I worked full-time answering phones for 1 year.
That's good. We are only hiring people with good experience.
Hi, Mike. You've been here now for 6 months.
So, let's discuss some benefits you may want.
What are my options?
Let's see. You're now eligible for dental and our retirement plan.
That's great. What's the retirement plan like?
Well, it's pretty simple. The company withholds money from your paycheck. That money is invested for your retirement.
That sounds easy enough.
Is that something you'd like to sign up for?
Oh, yes. I definitely do.
Have you prepared the deposit yet?
I just counted the cash and coins in the drawer.
Did you remember to face the bills this time?
Yes, I took care of that.
And did you check the petty cash?
Yes, there was $100 in the drawer.
Sounds like you're ready. Go ahead and make the deposit. And don't forget the receipt.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Hi, I'd like to open a business account.
Sure. What do you have in mind?
You offer credit cards, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have an excellent business credit card.
What makes it a good choice?
We offer credit limits that fit your business. We also monitor credit card transactions free of charge.
That sounds great. What else do you offer?
We offer direct deposit to pay your employees.
Can I get your opinion on something?
Sure. What's on your mind?
That new bank, would switching to it help us financially?
Maybe. For one thing, they offer much higher interest rates on their accounts.
True. What else?
They also offer free checking. Right now, we pay for that service.
And I do see that they cover overdrafts automatically. That would eliminate overdraft fees.
Yep. I think changing banks is a good idea.
I'd like to see production grow by 10% next year.
Do you think it can be done?
Based off last quarter's report, I think it can.
I agree. We've really seen an increase in output.
And since we're expanding our facilities, we'll have plenty of room.
Plus, with production costs declining, we can hire more employees.
We'll have to use some savings, but I think we can accomplish it.
Great. I'll put together a listing.
Welcome to our team. Here is a copy of the employee handbook. Now, there are a few things we need to take care of before you can get started here.
Sounds great. The people in human resources already put me in touch with IT. They gave me a username and password for the network. What else do I need to do?
Have you visited payroll yet?
Not yet.
You need to stop by there today to give them your information.
No problem. What do I need to bring?
You'll need several things. Make sure you have a photo ID, a document verifying your citizenship, and something that verifies your current mailing address.
Does that need to be an official document?
No, but if the address is wrong, you may not get your check on time.
I'll be sure it's correct.
Did you turn in your parking application to Human Resources?
That won't be necessary. I live near here, so I'll ride my bike.
Hello, I'm Mark Jeffries, the new outside director of the board. I don't believe we've been introduced.
I'm Dr. Williams. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's mine. How long have you been on the board?
For 10 years now.
That's a long time. Have you got any advice for a newcomer?
Well, what has your experience been like so far?
As an outside director, I sometimes feel a little left out. I'm not always familiar with the issues that the inside directors raise.
I've experienced that myself. But you can always pause the meeting for a moment to ask questions.
Is that appropriate?
Of course. It's difficult to contribute to corporate governance if you're not sure about how the company runs.
Thank you. That's very useful advice. Is there anything else you can tell me?
I tell you what. I'll introduce you to an inside director who might be able to help you.
You've reached Stewart Blood Centre. How may I direct your call?
Hello, I'm calling to schedule a blood drive at my school.
That's wonderful. Let me connect you to our scheduling department.
Actually, I was hoping to talk to someone about safety concerns first.
Okay, no problem. Let me find out who would be the best person to connect you with. May I please put you on hold?
That's not necessary. I've already spoken some with Miss Jordan. We were working together on a safety plan for disabled students who want to donate. Can you just connect me to her line?
Sure. Do you know her extension number?
Yes, it's extension 53.
Okay, I'm transferring you to her line.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling Stewart Blood Centre, and thank you for organising a blood drive.
Hello, you've reached Mr. Keaton's office. How may I help you?
I'd like to speak to Mr. Keaton, please.
I'm sorry, he's unavailable at the moment. What is the call regarding?
Do you know when he'll be available? This is very urgent.
I'm sorry, I'm not certain when he'll return to the office. If you explain the matter to me, I can take a message.
I'm calling about changes to my contract. I never authorised any new contractors, but I see that 2 have been added to my contract. I'd like to fix this problem as soon as possible.
Can you tell me your name, ma'am?
My name is Paula Winters.
Thank you. I'll ask Mr. Keaton to call you as soon as possible.
If possible, I'd like to talk with him before 5 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. I'll let him know.
Thanks for your help.
Hi, Mr. Klein. I've just been talking with a client about changing his contract, but there's something I'm not quite sure about.
Well, you've only been here a few weeks. What can I help you with?
I've worked out a new contract. The changes are minor, and I was wondering if I could just email him the new contract.
I'd prefer if you sent him a hard copy.
Well, he's going to be travelling on business for the next few months, so he said he'd prefer if we didn't mail him anything.
In that case, I suggest that you go ahead and send him a formal email clearly detailing the new contract.
He also gave me a fax number.
Good, send him a fax as well, and make sure to file a hard copy of the fax.
Okay, thanks for your help. Is it all right if I CC you on the email?
Yes, in fact, it's company policy.
I'll remember that.
I'm a little worried about this upcoming meeting.
Why is that?
Well, I've never been introduced to such important clients. I'm not really sure how to act.
Just introduce yourself and be friendly.
Should I just say, "Hello, I'm Martin"?
I would advise you to be a bit more formal. Give your last name and your job title.
Okay. Hello, I'm Martin Fletcher, the new CFO.
That's perfect, especially because their COO is new to her job as well. You can make a connection with her based on that.
I heard she just had a baby too.
Yes, but you probably shouldn't mention that. It may be too personal.
Got it. I should be friendly, but not too friendly.
And don't forget to shake hands and smile, Mr. Fletcher.
Hello, I'm here for my meeting with Dr. Wilson.
I'm sorry, he's been delayed. Would you like to wait here? He should be free in the next 15 minutes.
Sure, thanks. So how long have you worked for Dr. Wilson?
Since I moved here to Seattle 6 years ago.
I'm only visiting, but my partner was thinking of moving here. Do you like it?
Definitely. The food is amazing here.
Really? Is there a good place to eat while I'm here?
You should go down to Pike Place Market and get some fresh fish.
Is that outdoors? I'd rather go someplace where I can avoid the rain.
Yes, it does rain a lot here, but you get used to it.
I'm not sure I could. I really love sunshine.
Oh, here comes Dr. Wilson. It was nice to meet you.
Have you decided who will be on this new marketing project?
Yes, I've already assigned everything. I think this will be a good team.
Who is in charge of research this time?
Jackie will take care of research.
Jackie's good, but she doesn't always keep good records.
That's why I've delegated record keeping to Robert.
Oh, good. I know he really wanted to work on this project. I'm glad you found a place for him.
If he does a good job on this project, he will be in charge of research on the next project.
Who will be doing the interviews?
I've assigned Sarah that task.
Do you think she's friendly enough to get the subjects talking?
Well, she's the youngest member of the team. She might make college students more comfortable.
Hi, Wesley. I wanted to follow up with you about our conversation yesterday. How are we doing on signing up volunteers?
We've made some progress. I've got 3 people signed up to knock on doors.
Have we got anyone who wants to run the phones for us?
No. It's been hard to find people willing to work so late on a Saturday. Maybe we should make it more fun for them.
What do you suggest?
Well, we could order some pizza for telephone volunteers.
Okay, that sounds good. Talk to accounting about getting funds to buy pizza.
I already sent them a memo with an estimate of the cost. I haven't heard back from them yet.
I'll approve the expense. We can get it reimbursed later.
That should make things easier. Thanks.
No problem. Make sure to update me next week on our volunteer status.
Did you get my email about the new regulations?
Sorry, I haven't checked my email yet.
Well, as you know, we were planning on making some renovations starting next month. However, these regulations state that there are new requirements for door sizes for entrances and exits.
We'll have to change our renovation plans to include that. Are we still meeting with the contractor this Thursday?
Actually, I'd like to meet with him sooner. So let's move up the meeting to tomorrow. I want to get started on this right away.
Okay, I was going to meet with the staff tomorrow, but I'll reschedule that for Wednesday. I want to look over the other regulations and inform them about any changes.
That's a good idea. You should also type up a handout with the changes that affect them. It's always good to have it in writing.
Do you have a copy with you?
Yes, it's out in my car. I'll go get it.
I saw your technology presentation last week.
Can I ask you what you thought of it?
There were several things you did really well. You enunciated, you clarified confusing points, and you listened carefully to questions.
I'm glad to hear that. I've had a problem with mumbling in the past. Sometimes I get nervous.
That's understandable, but you handled it well.
Thanks for the kind comments. It might be good for me to hear some constructive criticism as well. Was there anything you thought I could improve?
Well, I did think you skipped a little too quickly over the issue of funding. You should probably expand on that.
Do you mind if I grab a pen? I'd like to write down your feedback.
No problem.
Do you have any other comments?
I think you should try to make more eye contact with your audience.
Okay, I'll try that.
Did you get a chance to read my email about improving our sales?
Yes, I did. I like some of your ideas, but I have some concerns.
Which ones did you like?
I think I'd prefer to use the low-cost options. I think we should try motivating people using minor perks like vacation days.
Maybe you're right, but the problem with that solution is that it is temporary. Once the contest is over, it doesn't promote hard work.
That's true, but I'm not sure we can afford to raise commissions.
I believe that our improved sales would cover the cost of raising the commission.
The problem with that is, if it fails, we lose a lot of money.
I understand that it's a risk.
Do you think it's worth it?
I think it will work better than contests or bonuses.
Okay, let's try it.
Hi, my name is Eddie Doyle. I really enjoyed your presentation on motivational strategies.
Thanks, Eddie. It's nice to meet you. My name is Daphne Martin.
I was wondering, do you have any experience with using non-competitive motivational strategies?
I don't, but I can refer you to a colleague of mine who does.
Great. How can I get in touch with them?
I don't have his email on me right now. Are you going to the banquet after the conference? I could introduce you to him then.
Unfortunately, I can't make it.
Oh, that's a shame. Let's exchange contact information and I'll send it to you. Here's my card.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Listen, I've got to run, but before I do, can I get your card as well?
Of course. I'd love to schedule a business lunch to discuss your ideas about motivational strategies.
Let's do that.
How was your first day in Japan?
Overall, it went pretty well. But there is one thing that I wish I did differently.
Why? What happened?
I'm just not used to bowing. I was introduced to the CEO of the Japanese Organic Farming Association, but I forgot to bow to him.
How did he react?
He bowed to me and didn't say anything about it, but I thought he was looking at me strangely during the meeting.
Did you bow to the other people in that meeting?
Yes, after I met the CEO, I remembered, of course, but it was too late to go back and impress him.
Don't worry about it. He's probably experienced that before.
He didn't look pleased.
Well, is he meeting with you again tomorrow?
Yes, hopefully it will go a little better.
Julia, I want to talk with you about your trip to Japan next month.
Sure, Mr. Hames.
Have you done any research yet to prepare?
I have found out a few things. Everything I have read says that people take business cards very seriously in Japan.
They certainly do. In fact, you might want to have about 200 extra cards printed before you go.
Wow, that many?
You'll need to give one to each person you meet with.
Okay, I can do that. I also read that I should have my cards printed in Japanese.
That's a great idea. It will be a good way to show respect.
I guess I'll be handing out my cards to everyone I see.
Just be sure that you don't toss them around. You need to give them to each person carefully, using both hands.
Can you show me how to do that?
Of course. You hold it by the corners and present it face up.
I'm very impressed with your resume. Could you tell me a little more about your position as a store manager?
Sure. My main focus was to make sure we met our monthly sales goal and to give the employees the support they needed to do their jobs well.
That must have been challenging.
It was, but I loved it. The thing I tried to do was make sure everyone was passionate about the company.
That's great. I also see that you have good skills working with all staff members and customers.
Yes, that was an important part of my job as well.
How did you keep your employees motivated?
By encouraging their involvement.
And how did that help?
It gave them a sense of ownership in the store. For example, I consulted employees about advertising, bonuses, everything. When their suggestions were adopted, they felt more involved and motivated.
Excellent. Now what can you tell me of your volunteer work?
I work with a local food bank. I help them organize their finances and secure funding.
I like to see that kind of dedication and hard work.
Thank you. I try to stay busy.
What are your impressions of the applicants from the interviews?
Well, I really liked Tom and Sarah.
Why is that?
What I liked was that they both seemed prepared for the questions.
I agree. What about Sarah's qualifications?
She's definitely had plenty of management experience. She was able to turn a failing company into a profitable business.
Not many people can do that.
I know. On the other hand, Tom's educational background is impressive.
Yeah, he got his MBA from an exceptional university.
And the paper he published about creative management practices has a lot of good ideas.
It would be great to implement some of those ideas.
So, who stands out the most to you?
I really like Sarah. She was dressed appropriately and showed up on time. She seems like she'd be very dependable.
True. Tom's appearance was a little messy, and he came in late.
Maybe we should call them both in for a second interview.
I agree. We'll see if they both present themselves in the same way they did today.
I like to talk about the different hiring options listed in the email.
Sure, go ahead.
First of all, I agree that we don't need a headhunter or staffing agency.
Okay, what options do you think are best?
Well, I think we should look in-house first, especially for the new management positions.
I agree. That would save a lot of time training new managers about how the company functions.
Right. Plus, there are lots of great people here.
That's true. What are your other thoughts?
I think we should advertise in the university newspaper.
Why do you say that?
The job listings could be seen by thousands of students to fill the weekend shifts. I think the extra expense would be worth it.
That's a good idea. What other ideas do you have?
I'd like to throw my hat into the ring for one of the new upper-level management spots.
Really? Do you think you're ready?
I do. I'm also willing to work weekends if needed.
Great. I'll submit you as a referral.
Could you come to my office for a moment?
Sure, what's up?
First of all, I'd like to thank you for all your hard work.
You're welcome. I enjoy working here.
I'm so glad to hear that. Since you're such a good employee, I'd like to offer you a promotion.
Really? That's great. What kind of promotion?
I'd like to promote you to Assistant Manager of Marketing.
Wow, what would my responsibilities be?
For starters, you'd have 5 employees report directly to you. We'll send you to managerial training to learn all the ins and outs of being a manager.
I'm excited to get started. What else?
You would be in charge of the company's website. Your design work has been wonderful, and we think you'll take it in the right direction.
So I would oversee web design and development?
Of course. But you will also have to collaborate with the company's executives to carry out their vision.
Awesome.
And how about a raise as well?
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I need to talk to you in my office.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I have some bad news. Why don't you have a seat?
Oh, what's wrong?
I'm recommending that we fire Becky Reeves.
Really? Why? She seems to get her work done.
Well, for starters, she's never on time, even to meetings. Time is money, and she wastes a lot of it.
I can try to fix that. I just have to figure out how to motivate her.
I see that behavior as a general lack of work ethic.
Maybe you're right. She's always the first one out the door.
Unfortunately, those aren't the only problems.
Let me guess. She doesn't dress very professionally.
Exactly. She got several write-ups for dress code violations before, but she hasn't really changed.
You're probably right. I'll stand behind your recommendation to fire her then.
Ms. White, we have some conflicts with next week's schedule.
Oh, what are they?
Well, Mr. Druss can't make the weekly meeting.
I really need him to be there. Can we change it?
I can go ahead and postpone it. I'll check with him to see when he's available.
That would be great. What other problems do we have?
Mr. Jackson wants to schedule a meeting as soon as possible.
OK. What does tomorrow look like?
You're free from 11:30 until 2.
Go ahead and pencil in a 1 o'clock meeting and see if that will work for him.
Will do. Finally, you've been asked to attend a meeting, but you're at a conference that day.
What's the meeting about?
Discussing next month's sales goals.
Go ahead and send my apologies. I'll email my suggestions to Miss Stevens.
What did you think about the meeting this morning?
Well, there were some good moments and there was some bad. Everyone was talking over each other for a while.
I know. I thought Dave and Jim spent too much time bickering.
That's for sure. It set a bad tone.
Luckily, Mr. Reynolds was able to get things back on track.
Right. After that, things seemed to go well, especially the discussion on new product ideas.
That was really good. If even half of those ideas work out, we'll see a big increase in our market share.
Hopefully. And I think your suggestion to set up a testing lab in-house was a great idea.
Thanks. It occurred to me while Frank was talking. I wanted to interrupt him just to get it out there, but Mr. Reynolds just told everyone to quiet down.
Well, you still got it out there. It's nice to have a meeting that doesn't waste time.
We need to write the agenda for the next sales team meeting.
OK, well, first things first. We need to talk about the monthly reports.
Yeah, overall they were great. Corporate and online sales were up significantly.
Then that'll be a good place to start. Do you want to do that?
Sure, I'll go over the key points.
Great. Is a time allotment of 10 minutes enough?
Yes, that's perfect. We had better go over new product lines too.
Right. We need a presenter from product development.
Maybe Jenny Adams?
Yes, I'll call her. What are our other objectives for this meeting?
Well, a few of the representatives want to hear more from marketing.
That's a good idea. I know there are a lot of new promotions for the holiday season.
Then let's get a marketing person over here to talk about them.
OK. Maybe we can brainstorm some marketing ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Let's spend about 45 minutes on the marketing portion. Is there anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Hi, Jim. Do you have a minute? I want to go over something with you.
Yes, of course, Tara. What is it?
It's about Thursday's board meeting. I'd like you to give a presentation.
Oh, OK. Sure. What do you want in it exactly?
Well, you've been working on these quarterly reports for a while now, correct?
Yes, that's right. So you want a breakdown of the numbers?
You got it. I'd like to see our gross earnings and profit margins broken down into graphs and tables. Make it as clear as possible.
Of course. What about handouts?
It's your presentation, so I leave that up to you. If you need a lot of copies, use the copy room.
OK, I'll do that.
Oh, and Jim, one more thing.
What is it?
Don't forget to reserve the conference room. Please take care of that before anything else.
Understood. I'll do it right away.
Linda, thanks so much for letting me practice my presentation with you. I really appreciate it. So what did you think?
Well, for the most part, I thought it was great. Your body language was really good. You kept eye contact really well and you had an open posture.
Thanks. That's good to hear. Was there anything that you think I should change?
Let's see. Yeah, there are a few spots that need work. First of all, there were parts where you read the slides verbatim.
Yes, I find it hard to memorize stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I think it sounded a little unnatural. So maybe you could just glance at the slides and then just rephrase them in your own words.
Sure, I can work on that. Is there anything else?
Yes, your second point went on too long. You might bore your audience. I think that you can move on more quickly.
Ah, right. Yeah, I agree with you. I'll redo that one.
Can we talk about your project for a minute?
Sure. Is there a problem?
I'm a little concerned about your progress. You seem to be behind schedule.
Well, yeah. I mean, I get tons of emails every day, and people are always coming by to ask questions.
I understand. There are a lot of distractions.
Yeah, and the project itself is huge. What do you recommend?
Here's what I'd do. I'd delegate more tasks to the people on my team.
Okay, I could have Jill help with website design.
And that'll give you more time to focus on the marketing plan.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. And why don't you make a task list every day?
That's a good idea. I'll have a better idea of what needs to be done.
Right. And then you can set aside time in your schedule for each task.
That'll be really helpful.
It definitely works for me.
So you're getting a team together for the new product line?
Yes, I was just thinking about the roles for the team members.
Oh?
Yeah. For example, Joan Richards is a great coordinator. She's confident and she always knows who the right person is for a task.
So Joan will be the chairperson?
That's right.
And what roles will the others get?
Well, Eric Hamilton is a great resource investigator. He's really sociable and good at finding opportunities.
That's true. What about Whitney Parker?
Well, Whitney is a real completer. Nothing is final until she looks at it.
Sounds like you've got it figured out.
Yeah, I really like the role system. It's great because it focuses on people's strengths.
I see what you're saying, but isn't it kind of limiting? I mean, it's good for people to develop new skills.
Of course, but the benefit of roles is that it makes the team efficient.
Maybe, but I prefer to develop objectives and give people more choices.
Well, that's another way to do it.
We want to replace the computers in some of our offices. We want the XP60 model.
Great, how many do you need?
Well, we'd need 50 right now.
Okay, each XP60 unit costs $800. So that comes out to...
Sorry to interrupt, but $800 a unit is a bit high. Do you have a discount for large orders?
For 50 computers. Unfortunately, we can't offer anything.
Okay, well, we were thinking about ordering 50 more in about 6 months. Does that change anything?
If you order all of the computers right now, we can offer a 5% discount.
We were hoping for about 10%. Is that a possibility?
I'm sorry, but we just can't go that high.
I see.
But if you paid in cash, we could compromise and offer 8%.
All right, that's better.
So, can we close this deal?
Well, one more thing. Can you offer quick delivery, say 15 days or so?
Yes, we can do that.
Great, we have a deal.
Can we talk about my travel arrangements for next week?
Of course. I've made a hotel reservation at the Tower Suites. It's $150 a night. Is that okay?
Well, that's a bit expensive.
The cheaper hotels were pretty far from the conference site. Tower Suites is a 5-minute walk.
Okay, in that case it'll work. I won't have to rent a car.
That's what I was thinking.
Now, what about my flight reservation?
Well, there's an early morning flight on Tuesday. The conference starts that afternoon.
That won't work. I have to be there by Monday night. I set up a meeting for Tuesday morning.
Okay, I checked the Monday flights too.
What options do I have?
Well, one flight leaves at 4 and arrives at 8. There's a brief layover in Dallas.
I'd like to avoid layovers if possible.
All right, then there's a 2:30 flight that arrives at 6:30.
That'll work. Try to get me a business class ticket.
You've got it. I'll send over the itinerary when I've booked the flight.
Hello, how may I help you?
I'd like to check in for my flight.
All right. May I see your identification, ma'am?
Sure. I'm afraid I only have my passport. Will that do?
Yes, that will be sufficient. Our records show you are travelling to Sydney today. Is that correct?
It is. I'm attending a business management conference.
Oh, how nice. Will you be checking any bags today?
Yes, I will definitely be checking my larger bag. Is my smaller bag small enough to be a carry-on item?
Yes, it is.
Good. Am I allowed to carry my medication in my carry-on luggage?
Yes, as long as it is clearly labelled.
Great. I've been having headaches lately, so I'd like to take my aspirin with me.
You will be able to. All right, just to confirm. You are travelling to Sydney and are checking just one bag?
Yes, that is correct.
Superb. Here is your boarding pass and baggage claim ticket. Have a nice day.
You too.